What does a drug lord look like? Is it this guy? A cartel boss, surrounded by guards, ruling his empire from a grimy warehouse? Or is it this guy? An Eagle Scout, a physics student, smiling in a sunny library. What if I told you they were the same person? Or at least, they became the same person, thanks to the internet. This is the story of how an idealistic young man from Texas allegedly became the most notorious online kingpin of his generation, a digital phantom known as the Dread Pirate Roberts. This is the story of the Silk Road. The year is 2011. The internet is no longer new, but parts of it are still the Wild West. Deep in the digital shadows, a project called the Tor Network is gaining traction. Originally a U.S. naval research project, it allows users to browse the web anonymously. Its symbol, an onion, represents its layers of encryption, peeling back one by one to hide your identity. For some, it's a tool for political dissidents, for journalists in oppressive regimes. For others, it's a gateway to what became known as the dark web. And it was here, in this anonymous digital void, that a new kind of marketplace was born. Picture a beat-up laptop in a dark room. On the screen, a simple website, almost primitive by today's standards. The logo, a green camel. The name, Silk Road. It was advertised as an anonymous marketplace, a libertarian utopia where you could buy and sell anything, free from government oversight. The currency wasn't dollars. It was a new, untraceable digital money called Bitcoin. At first, it was mostly used for buying and selling drugs. But Ross Ulbricht, the man behind the screen, saw it as a grand experiment in free market economics. He wasn't a gangster. He was an idealist. He believed in individual liberty above all else. He was building a world without rules, but he would soon learn that even in a digital utopia, human nature finds a way to turn things dark. The Silk Road wasn't just a website. It was a billion-dollar enterprise, and Ross was its CEO. This is where the story takes a turn. Running a massive illegal marketplace comes with problems. Scammers, thieves, and worse, federal agents. Ross, sitting behind his keyboard, starts to change. He's no longer just a programmer. He's a boss. He has to protect his empire. Psychologists call this the online disinhibition effect. When you're anonymous, behind a screen, the normal rules of social interaction, of empathy, they start to fade. You feel less responsible for your actions. It's like playing a video game. And for Ross, the stakes in this game were becoming dangerously high. He starts communicating with users he believes are hitmen. People are threatening to expose the identities of Silk Road vendors and users. For the Dread Pirate Roberts, this is a threat to his entire world, his grand experiment. So, he allegedly does the unthinkable. The Eagle Scout, the physics student who believed in non-aggression, starts typing messages, ordering hits. The chat logs are chilling. It's all business. I'd have no problem wasting this guy, he writes. The person on the other end is just a username. The violence is just text on a screen. It isn't real. But the money he sends, hundreds of thousands of dollars in Bitcoin, is very real. Ross Ulbricht, the man, and Dread Pirate Roberts, the online persona, have merged. He's become a solipsistic god in his own digital kingdom, a monster lurking in the shadow of his own silhouette, convinced that the only reality that matters is the one he controls on his laptop. For 2.5 years, the FBI chased this digital ghost. They followed the Bitcoin. They analyzed the code. But the Dread Pirate Roberts was always one step ahead. The breakthrough came not from a complex hack, but from simple human error. A rookie mistake made years earlier. A post on a forum, a use of his real name, linking him to the earliest days of the Silk Road. It was the one loose thread they needed to unravel his entire digital life. The hunt was on. They tracked his movements, his online activity, and they finally located him. Not in a fortified compound, not in a foreign country, but in the science fiction section of the Glen Park Public Library in San Francisco. On October 1, 2013, Ross Ulbricht was sitting at his laptop, logged in as the dread pirate Roberts, managing his empire. He was so absorbed in his digital world, he never saw them coming. Two agents create a loud distraction, a staged fight. As Ross turns his head, a third agent snatches the open laptop, the single most important piece of evidence in the case. The game was over. The idealist, the kingpin, the dread pirate Roberts, was just a man in a library, blinking in the sudden harsh light of reality. He was arrested and later sentenced to a double life sentence plus 40 years with no possibility of parole. The steel door slams shut. The digital code, the empire built on ones and zeros, fades into darkness. The case of Ross Ulbricht is a cautionary tale for the digital age. It shows how the anonymity of the internet can be a powerful and dangerous thing. It can give a voice to the voiceless, but it can also unlock the darkest parts of our own psychology. The screen can become a mirror, but it's a distorted one, reflecting a version of ourselves we might not recognize, a version capable of things we never thought possible. The crime was digital, but the motive, as always, was human. Thanks for watching. If you're fascinated by the intersection of crime and technology, make sure to subscribe for more.